If you're a sports fan, you've probably spent time thinking or talking about your team's chance of winning or losing. Perhaps you've even made a bet or two about how well your team will do. Our thoughts and predictions about how well our teams perform has a lot to do with stress. And as persuaders, we should be aware of how stress can change people's decisions. Whether people feel like they're under stress influences whether they will buy into our requests. Researcher and sports statistician Brian Burke analyzed more than 1,000 football games to find out how stress and circumstance changed the way sports teams decided to take risks. He found that underdog teams are less likely to vary their play and take chances, presumably because they're under more stress. When they started losing, they decreased their risk. Burke's theory is that coaches want to stay in the game as long as possible, so they decrease risks where they can. And what does this do? It decreases their chances of failures, but it also decreases their chances of big wins. And what does this mean for us? It means that if we feel like we're under stress or we're an underdog, we'll be pickier about the risks we want to take. When we want to persuade people, we should consider how much stress they are under and whether they will perceive our request as risky. When people plan their decisions, they think about the information they have at hand and determine what the chances are of the different outcomes that can play out. And when they feel threatened or stressed, they tend to focus more on negative information and are more likely to think about what could go wrong than what could go right. So, like underdog football teams, they'll tend to act more conservatively. When you plan to persuade someone to do something, consider how much of a risk your request is. Are you asking him or her to make a gamble or invest a great deal of time or money? If so, consider whether your target feels as though he or she is an underdog or threatened in some way. If that's the case, consider making your request at a different time. Thank you for watching and happy pollinating.